The lottery ticket sat in my shirt pocket, pressed against my chest like a ticking time bomb. $100 million. $100 million. I checked the numbers 17 times on 3 different websites before I finally believed it was real. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold my phone as I scooped up our 4-year-old daughter Emma from her playroom. "Daddy, where are we going?" Emma asked, clutching her stuffed rabbit as I buckled her into her car seat. "We're going to see Mommy at work, sweetheart," I said, trying to keep my voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through my veins. "Daddy has some very good news to tell her." I'm Nathan Pierce. I'm 34 years old, and up until that Tuesday afternoon, I thought I had a pretty good handle on my life. I worked as an accountant for a mid-sized firm in Denver, pulling in a decent salary that kept us comfortable in our 3-bedroom house in the suburbs. My wife Olivia was a senior marketing executive at Brennan Digital Solutions, making twice what I did and climbing the corporate ladder with the kind of ambition that both impressed and sometimes intimidated me. We'd been married for 6 years, met at a mutual friend's wedding where she'd caught the bouquet and I'd caught her eye. She was beautiful, driven, always impeccably dressed even on casual Sundays. Sometimes I wondered what she saw in a numbers guy like me, but she always said I grounded her, kept her centered when work got crazy. The lottery ticket had been an impulse buy. I never played the lottery, thought it was a waste of money, but the jackpot had hit a record $180 million and the gas station clerk had joked that someone had to win eventually. So I'd thrown down $2, picked 6 random numbers, and completely forgot about it until I saw the winning numbers flash across the news that morning. Now I was driving through downtown Denver with life-changing money in my pocket, and my daughter singing nursery rhymes in the back seat, completely oblivious to the fact that our lives would never be the same again. Brennan Digital Solutions occupied the top 3 floors of the Skyline Tower, all glass and steel and expensive furniture that screamed success. I'd been there maybe 5 times in the 3 years Olivia had worked there, usually for company parties where I'd make awkward small talk with her colleagues while trying not to spill wine on the white carpets. The elevator ride to the 15th floor felt like it took forever. Emma was getting restless, squirming in my arms and asking when she could see Mommy. My heart was hammering so hard I could hear it in my ears. This was it. The moment that would change everything. No more worrying about mortgage payments, or whether we could afford to send Emma to private school. No more watching Olivia stress over quarterly reports or missing family dinners because of late meetings. The elevator doors opened and I stepped into the reception area of Olivia's floor. The cos-outs. Space was all modern minimalism, chrome and glass and abstract art that probably cost more than my car. Olivia's secretary, a woman named Stephanie who I'd met a handful of times, looked up from her desk with surprise. "Nathan," she said, standing too quickly. There was something in her expression that made my stomach tighten. Panic maybe, or fear. "I didn't know you were coming by today." "Surprise visit," I said, trying to sound casual despite Emma's weight in my arms and the lottery ticket burning a hole in my pocket. "Is Olivia in? I have some incredible news." Stephanie positioned herself between me and Olivia's office door. "Actually, she's in a meeting right now, a very important meeting. Maybe you could come back later or I could have her call you." I frowned. Something about Stephanie's body language was wrong. She was blocking the door like a bouncer at a club, her hands fidgeting with the papers on her desk, her eyes darting nervously between me and the closed office door behind her. That's when I heard it. A sound that made my blood run cold. A woman's laugh, breathy and intimate, followed by a deeper male voice saying something I couldn't quite make out. Then silence. Then another sound, unmistakable in its meaning even through the thick office door. "Nathan," Stephanie said quickly, her face flushing red. "Maybe you should take Emma downstairs to the coffee shop. I can call Olivia and tell her you're here." But I was already moving past her, Emma still in my arms, my hand reaching for the door handle. Stephanie grabbed my arm, actually physically tried to stop me, but I shrugged her off. "Nathan, don't," Stephanie pleaded, genuine distress in her voice. "Please, just think about Emma." I looked down at my daughter, who was watching the exchange with confused eyes. For a split second I hesitated. Then I heard another sound from behind that door, and something inside me snapped. I turned the handle. The door was unlocked. The scene that greeted me will be burned into my memory for the rest of my life. Olivia's office was spacious with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking downtown Denver. Her desk was pushed against the far wall, and on the leather couch that had cost $4,000 of company money, my wife was with another man. They were partially clothed, tangled together in a way that left no room for innocent explanations. The man I recognized immediately, Derek Hammond, the company's CEO, married, father of 3, his family photos splashed across the company website like badges of honor. Time seemed to stop. Emma made a small confused noise. Derek and Olivia sprang apart, scrambling for clothing with faces that went from pleasure to horror in the space of a heartbeat. "Nathan!" Olivia gasped, pulling her blouse closed with trembling hands. "Oh God, Nathan, this isn't what?" My voice came out surprisingly calm, clinical even, like I was discussing a spreadsheet discrepancy instead of watching my marriage explode in real time. "Isn't what it looks like? Because it looks like you're sleeping with your boss." If this story resonates with you, if you want to hear how this impossible situation unfolds, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, and don't forget to like this video. Your support helps me continue sharing these real-life stories that need to be heard. Now let's continue. Derek was pulling on his shirt, his face red but his expression already shifting from shame to damage control. This was a man who'd built a $50 million company through calculated risks and strategic thinking. Even caught in the act, he was assessing angles. "Nathan, let's all calm down and discuss this rationally," Derek said, his voice taking on that smooth boardroom tone. "This is a complicated situation." "Complicated," I repeated, the word tasting like ash in my mouth. I turned to Stephanie, who was standing in the doorway looking like she wanted to sink through the floor. "How long have you known?" She couldn't meet my eyes. "Nathan, I'm so sorry. I tried to stop you." "How long?" I demanded. 6 months. She whispered. "They'd been meeting here during lunch breaks and after hours. I'm sorry, I wanted to tell you, but it wasn't my place." 6 months. Half a year of lies. Half a year of Olivia coming home late from work meetings that weren't really work meetings. Half a year of her kissing me goodnight with the same mouth that had been kissing him. Emma started crying, sensing the tension even if she didn't understand it. The sound of my daughter's tears cut through my shock like a knife. "I'm taking Emma home," I said, my voice hollow. "We'll talk about this later." "Nathan, please," Olivia said, now fully dressed but disheveled, her makeup smeared, her hair a mess. "Let me explain. It's not what you think." "Not what I think," I said slowly. "Olivia, I literally watched you with him. There's no version of reality where this is anything other than what it is." Derek stepped forward, trying to assert some kind of authority. "Nathan, I understand you're upset, but let's not make this harder than it needs to be. Olivia and I care about each other. This isn't some meaningless affair." I stared at him, this man who had everything: money, power, a family of his own, and apparently thought he deserved my wife, too. "You care about each other?" I repeated. "Does your wife know how much you care? Do your 3 kids know Daddy cares about his employee?" Derek's jaw tightened. "That's my private business." "Not anymore," I said. I adjusted Emma in my arms, her face buried against my shoulder, her small body shaking with sobs. "I'm going to make sure everyone knows exactly what kind of man you are." Olivia grabbed my arm as I turned to leave. "Nathan, please. Just let me talk to you. Just give me 5 minutes to explain." I looked down at her hand on my arm, remembering when that touch used to comfort me, used to mean safety and home. Now it just made my skin crawl. 6 years, Olivia," I said quietly. 6 years of marriage. We have a daughter together, and you threw it all away for him? It's not that simple," she said, tears streaming down her face. You don't understand the pressure I've been under, the stress of this job. Derek understands me in ways you never could. The words hit like physical blows. I never could understand you. I've spent 6 years trying to understand you, supporting your career, taking care of Emma when you work late, being patient when you were too stressed for family dinners. And this is what I get? Nathan, you're a good man. Olivia said, and somehow that made it worse. You're stable and reliable and safe, but I need more than that. I need someone who challenges me, who operates at my level. Your level? I repeated. The lottery ticket in my pocket suddenly felt heavier. I almost laughed at the irony. I walked out of that office without another word, Emma crying against my shoulder, Stephanie murmuring apologies I didn't acknowledge. The elevator ride down felt longer than the ride up. Each floor a reminder of how far I'd fallen in the space of 15 minutes. In the parking garage, I buckled Emma into her car seat and sat in the driver's seat staring at nothing, trying to process what had just happened. My phone buzzed. A text from Olivia. Nathan, please don't do anything rash. We need to talk about this like adults. Think about Emma. Think about Emma. She'd been sleeping with her boss for 6 months and now she wanted me to think about Emma. I pulled out the lottery ticket and stared at it. $100 million. This morning, this piece of paper represented a dream come true. Now it felt like a sick joke. I'd won more money than I could spend in 3 lifetimes, but I'd lost the thing I thought mattered most. Or had I? Sitting there in my car, my daughter's hiccuping sobs gradually quieting in the back seat, I started thinking clearly for the first time since opening that office door. Olivia had betrayed me, yes, but she'd also shown me exactly who she was. And maybe, just maybe, the timing of discovering both things on the same day wasn't a curse. Maybe it was an opportunity. I started the car and drove home, my mind already working through possibilities. By the time I pulled into our driveway, I'd made several decisions. The first was that I wouldn't tell Olivia about the lottery ticket. Not yet. Not until I understood exactly what I was dealing with. The second decision was that I needed to know more. How long had this really been going on? Was Derek the only one? What was Olivia's end game? And the third decision was that I needed help, professional help. I put Emma down for a nap, then called my older brother Marcus, who worked as a private investigator in Boulder. We'd never been particularly close. He was 7 years older, and had always been more street smart than book smart. But if anyone could help me navigate this situation, it was him. Nathan, Marcus answered on the second ring. What's wrong? You sound weird. Can you come over? I need your help with something. Right now? I'm working a case. Marcus, I just caught my wife cheating on me with her boss. I need your professional services. The line went quiet for a moment. I'll be there in 40 minutes. While I waited for Marcus, I did something I'd never done before. I went through Olivia's things. Her laptop was password protected, but I knew her passwords. She used the same one for everything, Emma's birthday plus her mother's maiden name. It took me 3 minutes to access her email. What I found there made my stomach turn. The emails between Olivia and Derek went back 8 months, not 6. They'd started professionally enough, work discussions, strategy meetings, collaboration on projects, but around the 6-month mark, the tone changed. Derek had sent her a message late one night. Can't stop thinking about our meeting today. You're incredible. Olivia's response, you're not so bad yourself. Too bad we can't explore this properly. Derek, who says we can't? And from there it spiraled. Lunch meetings at hotels, afternoon rendezvous in his office, weekend conferences that were really just cover stories for getaways. They'd been to San Francisco together, to Seattle, to Portland. All under the guise of business trips, all paid for by the company. But what really got me were the emails about me. Derek, have you thought about what happens next with your husband? Olivia, I'm not ready to leave yet. Nathan's useful. He takes care of Emma, handles the house, makes my life easier. Plus, divorce would be expensive and complicated. Derek, so what are we doing here? Olivia, enjoying ourselves. You're married too, remember? Neither of us is leaving our situations right now. This is just about us having something for ourselves. I stared at that email for a long time. Nathan's useful. 6 years of marriage, and that's what I'd become to her. A useful household manager who made her life easier while she pursued what she really wanted. Marcus arrived to find me sitting at the kitchen table, Olivia's laptop open, my face probably showing everything I was feeling. Jesus, Nathan, Marcus said, taking one look at me. You look like hell. My wife's been cheating on me for 8 months, I said flatly. She's been traveling with him on company time, sleeping with him in her office, and according to her emails, I'm just useful because I take care of Emma and the house. Marcus sat down across from me, his expression hardening. My brother had been through his own divorce 5 years ago, nasty and expensive, and he had zero tolerance for cheaters. Show me everything, he said. We spent the next 2 hours going through Olivia's digital life. Marcus was thorough, methodical, showing me how to preserve evidence, how to document everything. He found text messages I'd missed, photos she'd deleted but were still in her cloud backup, credit card statements showing purchases at expensive hotels. This Derek guy, Marcus said, studying a photo of him from the company website. He's loaded, right? The company's worth about $50 million. He probably makes close to $2 million a year. Marcus whistled. And Olivia makes what, $150K? Around that. So she's trading up, Marcus said. Or thinks she is. Guy like that, married with kids, he's not leaving his wife for your wife. This is just an ego thing for him. That's what the emails suggest, I said. They've talked about it. He's made it clear he's not divorcing. But Olivia keeps hoping he will, Marcus said, reading between the lines. Classic side piece syndrome. She thinks she's special, that she'll be the one he chooses. I felt sick. What do I do? Marcus leaned back in his chair thinking. First thing, you secure your assets. Joint accounts, retirement funds, anything she has access to. You open your own account, transfer your share. Do it today before she realizes you're moving against her. She gets home in a few hours. Then we work fast. Second thing, you don't tell her you know everything. She thinks you just saw a moment, doesn't know you've got 8 months of evidence. Let her believe you're the hurt husband who might forgive. Keep her comfortable while we build your case. That feels dishonest, I said, then realized how stupid that sounded given the circumstances. Marcus smiled grimly. Brother, she threw dishonest out the window months ago. You're just protecting yourself. Speaking of which, have you thought about custody? Emma's 4. Colorado courts favor shared custody, but with evidence of infidelity and her having an affair at work, traveling with her boss instead of being home with her daughter, you've got a solid case for primary custody. Primary custody? The thought of Emma only seeing her mother on weekends hurt, but the alternative, splitting time equally with a woman who'd just called me useful, hurt worse. Do it, I said. Whatever you need to do. Help me protect Emma and protect myself. That's what I wanted to hear, Marcus said. Now, is there anything else I should know? Any complications? I thought about the lottery ticket, still in my shirt pocket. $100 million that Olivia didn't know about, money that if we were still married when I claimed it, would be considered marital property. There's one thing, I said slowly. But you have to swear you won't tell anyone. Marcus raised an eyebrow. I'm your brother and your PI. Attorney-client privilege applies here. What is it? I pulled out the lottery ticket and slid it across the table. Marcus stared at it, then at me, then back at the ticket. Is this what I think it is? I won the Powerball this morning, $100 million. Holy, Marcus breathed. Nathan, do you understand what this means? It means if I don't file for divorce before I claim this ticket, Olivia gets half. It means more than that, Marcus said, his PI instincts kicking in. It means you have leverage. It means you can disappear if you need to. It means Emma's future is secure no matter what happens. But yeah, it also means you need to move fast. How fast? You've got 180 days to claim a lottery prize in Colorado. But the moment you claim it, it becomes public record. Your name, your photo, the amount. Everyone will know, including Olivia. I felt my chest tighten. So I have to choose. Claim the money and risk her finding out before the divorce is final, or wait until after the divorce, but risk the ticket expiring or something happening to it. There's a third option, Marcus said carefully. You could set up a legal trust, claim the ticket through the trust, and keep your identity partially protected. It's not foolproof, but it buys you time. And in that time, we expedite the divorce. How fast can we get divorced? With evidence this solid, if we can prove she's been traveling with Derek using marital funds, having an affair in her workplace, and she doesn't fight it, we could have preliminary separation agreements in place within a month. Full divorce finalized in 3 to 4 months. And the lottery ticket? You wait. You hide it somewhere safe, you don't tell anyone else, and you wait until the divorce is final. Then you claim it, and you disappear. Take Emma and start a new life somewhere else if you want. It seemed almost too simple, but my mind was already racing with possibilities. A new life, a fresh start. Emma growing up without the toxicity of parents who destroyed each other. Help me, I said to Marcus. Help me do this right. That's why I'm here, brother. That's why I'm here. Olivia came home at 7 o'clock that evening, her face carefully composed into an expression of concern. She found me in the living room. Emma asleep on my lap while I stared at the television without really seeing it. Nathan, she said softly, setting down her briefcase. Can we talk? Emma's sleeping. Keep your voice down. She sat on the chair across from me, and I studied her with new eyes. She'd fixed her makeup, changed her clothes, probably practiced her apology in the car on the way home. She looked perfect, polished, every inch the successful executive, and completely fake. I'm so sorry, Olivia began. What you saw today, it was a mistake. A terrible mistake that I've been making for a while now, but it ends today. How long? I asked, even though I already knew. Does it matter? It matters to me. She sighed. A few months, maybe 6. Nathan, I never meant to hurt you. It just happened. Derek and I work closely together. We have this connection, and it just spiraled out of control. It just happened, I repeated. Like accidentally ordering the wrong coffee. Oops, accidentally had an affair with my boss for 6 months. Don't be cruel, Olivia said. I know I messed up, but we can work through this. Couples survive infidelity all the time. We can go to counseling, rebuild trust. I looked at my wife, at this woman I'd spent 6 years building a life with, and felt nothing but cold calculation. She wanted me to forgive her so she could keep her comfortable life while continuing to see Derek on the side. She thought I was useful, manageable, controllable. You're right, I said slowly. We should try counseling. For Emma's sake, we should at least try. Relief flooded Olivia's face. Really? Nathan, thank you. I promise I'll end things with Derek. It's over. You're the one I want to be with. Liar. The words screamed in my head, but I kept my face neutral. We need some ground rules while we work on this. Of course, anything. First, you need to be transparent with me. Phone, email, everything. If we're rebuilding trust, I need to be able to verify you're being honest. Olivia hesitated just for a second, and I knew she had no intention of actually following through. Okay, that's fair. Second, no more late nights at the office unless I verify it's actually work. No more business trips unless I can confirm them with your assistant. Nathan, that's going to make my job difficult. Your job? I said, letting some real anger show. Olivia, your job is where you've been cheating on me. Your job is the problem. So either you make accommodations or we don't fix this. Fine, she said tightly. I'll work from home more. Third, I continued, we need to separate our finances, just temporarily while we work through this. I think it's healthier if we have some financial independence during counseling. Now, Olivia looked genuinely worried. Why would we need to do that? Because I need to know you're committed to working on us, not just staying for financial security. Plus, it'll make me feel better knowing I have some control over my own money while we work through this betrayal. It was a gamble. If Olivia agreed too easily, it meant she was already planning to leave once she secured her position with Derek. If she fought it, it meant she needed access to marital assets. She fought it. Nathan, that seems extreme. We've always shared everything. That's what marriage is. And having an affair with your boss, what's that? Her face flushed. That's not fair. Nothing about this is fair, Olivia, but this is what I need to feel safe moving forward. So either you agree or we skip counseling and go straight to lawyers. The threat hung in the air between us. Finally, Olivia nodded. Okay, if that's what you need, we'll separate the finances temporarily, just while we're in counseling. I'll set it up tomorrow, I said. Now I'm going to put Emma to bed. I carried our sleeping daughter upstairs, away from the woman who'd betrayed us both, and tried not to think about how good it felt to lie to Olivia the same way she'd been lying to me. The next morning, while Olivia was at work, I met with Marcus and a lawyer he recommended, Patricia Brennan, who specialized in high-asset divorces and had a reputation for being absolutely ruthless in court. Let me make sure I understand, Patricia said, reviewing the evidence Marcus had compiled. Your wife has been having an affair with her boss for 8 months. She's used marital funds to travel with him. She's conducted the affair in her workplace, which creates liability for the company. And you have comprehensive documentation of all of it. Yes, I confirmed. And you're sitting on a $100 million lottery ticket that she doesn't know about. Also, yes. Patricia smiled. It wasn't a pleasant smile. Mr. Pierce, this is the easiest case I've handled in years. We're going to destroy her. I don't want to destroy her, I said. I just want to protect Emma and make sure I'm not taken advantage of. Same thing, Patricia said. Now, here's what we're going to do. First, we filed for legal separation on grounds of adultery. Colorado is a no-fault divorce state, but adultery still matters for property division and custody. Second, we request primary custody of Emma based on Olivia's documented pattern of prioritizing her affair over family. Third, we freeze all joint assets pending resolution. Fourth, we subpoena Derek Hammond's employment records to prove the affair took place on company time using company resources. Won't that get Olivia fired? I asked. Probably. Sleeping with your boss is generally frowned upon in corporate America, especially when it involves company resources. But that's her problem, not yours. Fifth, and this is crucial, we make sure the divorce is finalized before you claim that lottery ticket. Once the divorce is final, that money is yours alone. How long?